So it was snowing and sleeting earlier, and it seems to have taken a little break. Hopefully it'll start up again. Otherwise I won't be able to show fire in the snow just yet. I'll get there, just have to wait till the weather cooperates. I'm gonna go back into the woods and build a little cooking fire and hopefully make up a little soup. And the wood is pretty wet, but hopefully I'll be able to get something going. So I came off of this little access trail here. It used to be a railroad line, but now it isn't, and there's probably 20 acres of woods back in here. This is a really pretty good sized deer trail. I think I'm going to follow and see what's back up in there. Been here before, just not to this part of this particular woods. I know there's some good stuff back in here though. And as I'm walking along, I'm just making note of where there are natural materials. What I'm looking for today is kind of a sheltered spot. The winds are out of the west, which is that way. And what I was really looking for, I've now found, I think. Yeah, this is standing dead wood, and this is all about the right size to start a fire. There's a dead standing tree there as well. I'm gonna set up a little tarp close by here because I am anticipating a little bit more rain and sleet and wind and things. I just want to be able to get out of it if I need to. Now I've selected this little valley here. This is gonna be a decent site for just an hour or so. Look at that, someday will fall. I just want to make sure I'm not around. That stuff will fall as well. So just to be very wary of stuff like that if you're gonna try to be somewhere at night when you're sleeping. There it is, home sweet home. It ain't perfect, but it'll work for an hour or so. I did see some snow flurries just a minute ago. I think we're right on the edge of it. And I've set down some of the bark from that tree over there, cleared out the debris just to have a little dry spot. And I'm defining the edges of the fire with two branches. And I'm going to just kind of show you why I look for the standing dead stuff. This is dead wood, but it's been on the ground for a long time. It's really soft. I can press my thumb into it, and it's pretty wet stuff. It's almost like corky, and I'm sure you could get that to burn, but I don't want to mess with it. And again, here's some other stuff that looks pretty dry, but I bet if you pick it up, yeah, it's wet. All that stuff is wet. There's where a deer has been using his antlers on the tree. So I'm back to my source here for some dried wood. See what I can get here easy without having to go all Rambo on the tree. And this is good dry wood, but I'm kind of wanting to get some of this outer bark off before I try to use it. The bark is a little moist. Under here will be dry pretty shortly. If you're looking for a way to break wood without jumping on it, just weaken it a little bit, put it between the crotch of two trees and do this. Easier said than done with the camera in your hand. There it goes, like that. To briefly explain what I've done so far, I've got a layer of bark, keeping that off the wet ground. 4 like wrist-sized pieces on the bottom and 4 on the top. And what I'd like to do is build a fire in this area out of smaller stuff and then have it fall down and kind of dry this out and ignite it and turn this into the coals. For some smaller stuff, I'll probably have to split up some of that. I also found some of these branches on the bottom of this evergreen will probably be dry. I'm going to check those. I've finished my basic setup here. I haven't lit it yet, obviously. I have a little, this was a 28-ounce tomato can, and this is just some wire that you'd hang photos with, and I had a bunch of that extra, so I just made up a little pot. I set this up before I build the fire so that I can get kind of an idea of where I want it hanging, and I can adjust it before there's a fire there. I like it so that it's nice and away, so I can grab it out here away from the fire and put it back down as I need to. And I like this 28-ounce size because I know that if I fill it about half full, that's 2 cups of water, and most of the recipes for, like you know, Mountain House or whatever, a lot of the other things that I put together like this, a little noodle soup, call for 2 cups of water, so that's a real convenient size for one person. If you want to cook for a lot of people, just make that bigger and raise this up and make a bigger fire. But that will be enough for me to cook and boil 2 cups of water. I'm going to go back into my little shelter there and play with a knife for a little bit. Here's a little Vaseline cotton ball from my tinder cup here, or my tinder deal. I'm going to spread it out. Alright, that's done. Just need to let that burn down. I'm going to get my soup ready, and we'll do some cooking. So here's the basic method for the soup. I just have my little thing. I just make sure I put some shavings in there earlier. Just want to make sure I'm not going to be eating them. Still one left in there. And this picture hanging wire is nice because it just tucks right in there and it's strong enough and does a good job. So I'm just going to fill this about half full because I know that's about 2 cups. There we go. And then when I do these, I do them with two sides. I do a dry ingredient side that needs to be rehydrated, and it looks like in this I have some mushrooms and green onions and red bell pepper and some spices and things. And then in this side I have ramen noodles. I kind of like ramens because with this all you have to do is get this sucker burning, or get the water boiling, and you're good to go. And if you do it like I did, ooh, that's a hot fire. You just put the dehydrated veggies in, and by the time the water comes to a boil, they're soft and ready to go, and then you just drop the ramens in for a minute or so, and you got some soup. And hopefully I got this to the right height. Yeah, that'll be good. That'll boil in just about no time. Doing a little simmering. One nice thing about doing your fire this way is if you want, you can lower that, and that nice little flexible wire there you know, stretches, and it's not going to spill out our stuff. You can set it right on there if you're careful. And there it is. That was all of 5 minutes. Now I'm going to put the noodles in, and to do that I just take it off real quick, and I'm going to put some noodles in and put it back on. Noodles are in, and we're going to go back over the fire here. Just a minute or so on the fire, and those will be nice and soft. Okay, we're done. I'm just going to set that off to the side here to cool off a little bit. Our soup is done. Our fire is burning down a bit. I've let that sit a while, and you can see with the 4 long logs on the bottom, with the 4 kind of askant over the top, all of my tinder and stuff burned down, lit them on fire according to plan, and we've got a great bed of coals there. You could make a hobo dinner in that. You could bake in that. You could do basically any kind of cooking you wanted to do, and one of these times I'll do some more of this. And in the meantime, I've broken camp. Only thing to do is to eat the soup, put out the fire, and hike out. Thanks a ton for watching.